Coming up on the Northern Sun Showcase. Spring is here. The track and field championships were off to a chilly start. From Jamaica to North Dakota. How'd that happen? Minnesota State softball and Winona State baseball at NCAA championships. Student athletes giving back. One is all academic, one elite, another a guardian of the game. The Northern Sun Showcase is next. Thanks for joining us for the Northern Sun Showcase. I'm Mike Woodley, along with the Commissioner, Butch Raymond. Our final show of the year, and what a year it's been for the Northern Sun Conference. 2 national championships and also some unfinished business ahead in springtime.
It really has been, Mike. It started off marvelously with University of Minnesota Duluth winning in football a national championship, and Concordia St. Paul repeating for the 4th time in volleyball. Through the winter season, and now at the end here, we're in the spring, we still have 4 sports on the board. We have baseball and softball going on with 2 of our teams competing in the Elite 8, and of course then finally track and field with both our men's and women's teams there. And
we're going to get into those in just a little bit, but let's go to men's basketball, a sport Butch you know very well as a Hall of Fame coach and a former coach at Minnesota State Mankato, and that Northern Sun Conference team went all the way to the Final Four.
They did. They really had a sensational year. Coming through winning the championship of the regular season and then winning the tournament, our conference tournament, moving on to the Elite 8 where they won their first game and then were defeated 81-74 in the semifinals by Bellarmine, a team that went on to win the whole thing.
One of the outstanding players named all-tournament, Jefferson Mason, just a special player.
Well, Jefferson was obviously a great player for us throughout the year. He was an all-conference player, but he just got better and better as the season went on through our conference tournament, the regional, and then making the all-tournament team out at the Elite 8.
Also a basketball footnote that certainly is worth mentioning. Former Northern State coach Don Meyer, a legendary coach, a Hall of Fame coach, got a very prestigious honor. Butch, tell us about it.
Well, the NABC awards what they call Guardian of the Game Award. It's like if you visualize a stool with four legs on it. One of them is leadership, one of them is education, one of them is advocacy, and one of them is service. And they give 4 individual awards to people that exemplify and stand for that. And in this case, Coach Meyer won the Leadership Award, not only for what he has done on the floor, but what the leadership he's given off the floor. It couldn't have gone to a more deserving person.
And Meyer gave a very, very emotional and dead-on speech, just in the tone of what has been Don Meyer.
I want to thank everybody that's responsible for me receiving this award, and leadership's a really special thing in the coaching profession. Jerry Krause, one of my college coaches, gave me 3 rules for living a life as a servant leader, and I want to share them with you. The first one was find your unique talent or gift, that thing that you really enjoy doing and you get great satisfaction from doing. Then number 2, develop your gift to the fullest, the absolute fullest, because nobody wants an average gift. And then number 3, you've got to give your gift away every day, because the only true joy in having a gift is sharing it with somebody else who needs it and really expects the greatest from you as a leader. And that's the thing that we need to remember in the coaching profession. Always remember to coach for the love of the game and for the kids, and you'll be a true servant leader. Thank you very much.
Don has been not only a leader of men's basketball players, but coaches and communities.
And in the Northern Sun, he's established a bar for our coaches to follow, and so we feel very fortunate to have Don be having been a part of the Northern Sun.
We move on now to golf and spring sports, and let's start with men's golf, where congratulations to Minnesota State Mankato for a big victory for them in men's golf.
They did, and again, for our Coach of the Year, which is Troy Harder from Wayne State College. And he had the medalist, Adam Fields, the Golfer of the Year from Wayne State. But yes, congratulations to Minnesota State.
Fields also the individual medalist. On now to women's golf, where Augustana had quite the year. They had the team that was seemingly the team that was on track each and every time they teed up the ball. They won the NSIC championship. They went on to win the region championship. They did very well.
They went on to the Nationals, where they finished 9th, along with Concordia. St. Paul came in and finished 12th. Again, remember, Mike, in golf we have a fall championship, not a champion, fall tournament, a spring tournament. You add them together to get the total champion for the Northern Sun.
And let's listen now to the coach, Peggy Kirby of Augustana.
The girls played so hard today. I mean, they played with so much heart, and The golf course was so difficult today. Even though the weather was bad the last 2 days, I think this golf course was set up as hard as it could be today. And our girls should shoot 316. And Allie Ostrander shot a 75 today, which is world class. I am just bursting with pride for these students.
Coming up, we're going to get into baseball and softball, tell you how things are going in the springtime in the Northern Sun Conference when we continue. The Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference is a proud member of NCAA Division II Athletics. This week's Northern Sun Showcase is brought to you by Wilson, the official football, basketball, and baseball of the NSIC. By LJK Companies Incorporated, a full-service solution to your team's lodging needs. By Impact Sports. Contact Impact Sports to get your swoosh on. And by eSultans Web Services. We make having a website easy and affordable. For more information, visit esultans.com.
We all train differently. It's about numbers. What works for you might not work for your teammates. The same thing goes for staying hydrated. As you compete, you sweat, and it leaves your body at a unique rate. At a certain point before the game's even over, you sweat so much that your performance suffers, unless your numbers are right. Through superior research, we've unlocked the formula to optimize those numbers. The math for you is simple.
If you've stopped saving, let us help you start. Savings today and rewards tomorrow from U.S. Bank. Save a little every week with every purchase, every paycheck. Watch your savings grow. When you reach $1,000, you'll earn a $50 rewards Visa card. Earn another $50 when you keep it for a year. Save for a wedding day, a family, or your house. Just start. All of us serving you. U.S. Bank.
I chose Division II because athletes graduate at a higher rate.
I can stay closer to home and be an important part of the community. I chose Division II because I can double major
and take part in campus activities.
I chose Division II because classrooms are smaller.
Students have more time with their instructors.
And I can compete for a national championship. I chose Division II for all these reasons and more.
I chose Division II.
Butch, let's move on now to the spring sports. And in softball, very competitive conference, as usually the case. Augustana, however, able to win the regular season championship.
Commissioner's delight, Mike. Augustana won our regular season championship. They hosted the conference tournament and won that. They hosted the regional tournament, but Minnesota State Mankato came out of that, and Mike, actually Minnesota State finished fourth in our conference. It was Augustana, Wayne State, Winona State, and then Minnesota State, but they all were so even that I'm not surprised.
Tough to see two Northern Sun Conference teams playing in a Central Region Championship, and only one could move on. And let's talk to the winning coach, Lori Meyer of Mankato, after the game.
That's really probably what is sad about this, that the two of us had to meet here in Super Regional, because we are two very, very, very good teams that really both should be at the national tournament. And I think, again, think about it, we got fourth in the Northern Sun Conference, you know, and I felt last week when we had to beat Winona and we had to beat Wayne State and then also Metro at the RMAC, that was another tough weekend that prepared us to come in for this weekend, and it's just a battle.
So Meyer and her MSU Mankato softball team flies off to Salem, Virginia for the championships, Butch.
And yes, and they draw the first round Saginaw Valley, a very good softball team, but they all are when you get to the Elite Eight. Mike, you know, one of the things we've constantly talked about is life in balance, academics, athletics, Division II, and what a neat award for Minnesota State's pitcher, Kendra Huettl. She won the Elite 88 award, which is given out to the top student athlete at every Elite Eight tournament, the GPA. Kendra happens to have a 3.99 in nursing.
Being a student athlete and playing softball and balancing, being a nursing student has definitely been a challenge for me. It takes a lot of time management and getting things done on time so that I'm able to go to class and go to clinical and go to practice and playing games and be successful. And it's definitely an honor to win this award, and I'm thankful for everyone that's helped me along the way.
And if you'd like updates on how Huettl and her MSU Mavericks softball team is doing in Salem, Virginia at the Elite Eight, just go to northernsun.org and look for updates on the website. Well, let's move on to baseball, Butch, where again it's MSU Mankato, the Mavericks winning the regular season title in baseball.
Well, and what a race we had competition-wise. Again, as you said, Mike, congratulations to Minnesota State Mankato in winning the regular season. They hosted the conference tournament, and the conference tournament was won by St. Cloud State, and they in turn hosted the regional tournament, the Central Region, and that was won by Winona State. So 1, 2, 3 different champions here in the Northern Sun.
And just to exemplify the depth, St. Cloud State loses the first game in the conference tournament, but goes on to win the tournament overall, and then hosting, of course, the regional. And then what did we see? We see another Northern Sun team come out of the region and get the championship.
Yeah, the third place team in our regular season, Winona State, wins that, just like the fourth place team in softball. And Mike, I think we'd be remiss if we didn't right now say thank you to these schools that hosted our tournaments. Augustana on softball, Minnesota State on baseball. The weather was not perfect, but what a job they did. And thanks to all of you for what you accomplished for us.
And just as we mentioned in softball, if you'd like updates on how Winona State's baseball team is doing and Cary, North Carolina at the championships, go to the website, northernsun.org, and we'll keep you up to date on all the very latest as they hopefully continue through the brackets. And also, we've seen outstanding student athletes putting up very notable performances, not just on the field, but let's hear a little bit about Concordia University's Bryan Lippincott and what he was able to do, not only as an athlete, but as a student.
Well, CoSIDA, that would be the organization by our media relations people of all of our schools, a tremendous organization. Each year they give out they name an All-American team, and then they pick an All-American academic in Division I, and then they pick one over Division 2, 3, and NAIA and lump that together. And this year's winners was Concordia University's Bryan Lippincott. He's a young man that won that. I think he's a third baseman for them. And his GPA, Mike, he just had a perfect 4.0 in finance. And wow, congratulations, Bryan. That's fantastic.
We'll all work for him one day.
Exactly.
Well, when we come back, we'll get into track and field and a little sunny story from North Dakota, and it'll be kind of fun. Stick around. We got plenty ahead here on the Northern Sun Showcase.
So, what kind of financial help are you looking for? Maybe you need insurance to help protect you. Benefits to help your business reach new heights. Or a retirement plan to invest for the future. Then again, maybe there's someone who can help with all of those things. The Principal Financial Group will give you an edge.
The Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference, with 8 team national championships since 2006 and 24 individual national champions, the NSIC has developed into the premier Division II conference in the Upper Midwest. The NSIC boasts 14 schools competing in 17 sports, all committed to one common goal: athletic and academic excellence. The Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference, a proud member of NCAA Division II athletics.
If you've stopped saving, let us help you start. Savings today and rewards tomorrow from U.S. Bank. Save a little every week with every purchase, every paycheck. Watch your savings grow. When you reach $1,000, you'll earn a $50 rewards Visa card. Earn another $50 when you keep it for a year. Save for a wedding day, a family, or your house. Just start. All of us serving you. U.S. Bank.
Uber fan here, and this is my sportscaster audition. Today in Today in local sports. Today in local sports. Today in local sports, and that's the news. I'm missing a page. Today in local sports. It's too loud. Okay. Uber fan for Midcoast Sportsnet. Every key matchup, every local rivalry, only on Mid-Continent, coming at you live. Baby. This is harder than it looks.
Butch, earlier during one of our programs, we showed the connection between Sweden and Augustana and how student athletes were coming to perform. That maybe made a little more sense, Runa Falch being the example, because Augustana is the home of the Vikings and the heritage is there. But we're seeing international experiences for student athletes all around the conference.
Not unusual in recruiting, Mike. It all starts off with a student athlete having a good experience at a school, or maybe a coach that has a relationship with someone. And once you get one person there, a couple more come. Back in the years ago when I was coaching at Minnesota State Mankato, it was Canton, Ohio for us. We had a young man come, and his mom and dad were very supportive, and then the church became supportive, and we had a handful of athletes, student athletes that came. And now at University of Mary in Bismarck, it happens to be Jamaica. That may be a little far stretched than usual, but what a great experience these student athletes are having at the University of Mary.
It is, but to go all the way from Kingston, Jamaica to Bismarck, North Dakota, well, how's it working out? Tia Streeter has the story.
From this to this. For 7 University of Mary track athletes, home is Kingston, Jamaica, a world away from Bismarck, North Dakota.
I've never met anybody that likes North Dakota winters.
When I just got here, I heard a whole bunch of horror stories from the previous year. So when I actually got here, it wasn't too bad because I prepared myself for something way greater. Yeah, how cold can it get? But it got cold. It got cold fast, and it was here for a long time. I won't be able to survive this if it's 50 and I'm freezing right now. I was really worried, but I just taking it one day at a time.
I heard so many stories. I had lots of winter coats.
Adapting to the frozen tundra has been difficult.
And I remember the first day of practice, it was 50 degrees and it was raining and it was very cold, and I was almost at the point of tears because I was what am I doing here? But it turned out to be pretty good.
For this bunch, almost everything in the capital city is different, except for the reason they came.
Being on this team is probably my favorite, and my coach is the best. I've gotten so much better just being here. I've improved in everything and wouldn't give it up for the world.
I'm pretty glad to be here because they've adopted us as family, and I wouldn't say that we're treated any differently than anybody else.
We fit in great. Everyone loves us. We all get along. We all crack jokes about our accent. They're like, "Oh, your Jamaican accent." Make fun of us. They call me Kristan. No one calls me Kristen.
Head coach Mike Thorson says they've hit the ground running.
We probably have some conference championships that we may not have had they not been here. So it's been a good thing for both sides.
While thousands of miles separate them from everything they know, they've jumped in with both feet.
I became more responsible and all that, and I really just learned how to work hard and put my mind to it, and I'm much more mentally stronger than I was.
Everybody knew that the opportunity of college comes only once, and if you get that chance, you just take it.
And having the other Jamaicans here definitely kind of feels like home. Oh yeah, it really helps. When you get homesick, we can talk to each other and just talk about home, and we can cook together and just eat, sometimes just eat together as a group, and it really helps having other Jamaicans here.
Old friends and new friends make surviving a North Dakota winter more like a day at the beach. For KX Sports, I'm Tia Streeter.
Butch, quite an experience.
Yes, if you can just keep life in the balance, Mike. Academics along with athletics, and here's some foreign students that are just international students that are having a experience of their lifetime.
And those students, along with many others, took part in the NSIC Track and Field Championships, and Nick Cornder has the recap.
Student athletes fought through less than ideal weather conditions at the 2011 NSIC Outdoor Track and Field Championships held in Aberdeen, South Dakota. On the men's side, Minnesota State's freshman Christopher Reed was named the NSIC Newcomer of the Year after he won the shot put with a toss of 54 feet 9 inches. Wayne State's John Kern was named NSIC Track Athlete of the Year after winning 2 events. The senior from Cedar Bluffs, Nebraska won the 10,000-meter run and the 3,000-meter steeplechase. MSU Moorhead's Laquan Robinson was named NSIC Field Athlete of the Year. He finished first in the 110-meter hurdles, third in the decathlon, third in the long jump, fourth in the triple jump, and was seventh in the high jump. His time in the 110-meter hurdles was an NCAA Division II championship provisional time and his fastest time of the year. Teammate Derek Brady was the NSIC Championship High Point Performer, an award he won during the indoor season as well. The sophomore from Hoffman, Minnesota won the 100-meter dash, the 200-meter dash, and was a member of the winning 4x100-meter relay team. MSU Moorhead repeated what they did during the indoor season as they won the outdoor championship. The Dragons men scored 162 points, topping second-place St. Cloud State by 57.5 points. St. Cloud State's head coach Seth Miskey was named NSIC Men's Coach of the Year after leading his squad to a second-place finish, the highest marking the Huskies have had since joining the NSIC. Wayne State's Nicole Brungart was named NSIC Newcomer of the Year after winning 2 events. The freshman from Norfolk, Nebraska, set a new school record in winning the 100-meter dash. She also won the long jump with an NCAA provisional mark. Winona State's Mary Tyson was named NSIC Field Athlete of the Year. Tyson won both the shot put and the discus. Her shot put was an NCAA automatic qualifying throw just shy of 15 meters. Augustana's Runa Falsch amassed 30 points for the Vikings, winning the 1,500-meter run, the 5,000-meter run, and the 10,000-meter run. She earned High Point Performer and was the Track Athlete of the Year, leading the Vikings to the team championship. Tracy Hellman was voted by his peers as NSIC Women's Coach of the Year after leading the Vikings to their first Women's Outdoor Championship. The NSIC will send 39 athletes to compete in 36 events at the 2011 NCAA Outdoor Track and Field Championships in Turlock, California on May 26th to the 28th.
And Butch, we encourage everybody to follow the success of the athletes on the website. Go to northernsun.org and see how they're doing at the national championships.
Yeah, well, thanks. We got to really thank Nick for keeping us, Nick Cornder, our media relations person in the office, to keeping us up to stuff on that.
And certainly student athletes throughout the conference involved in volunteering, helping out, giving back. It's all part of Life in Balance. We'll tell you some individual stories and share some of that next when we continue on the Northern Sun Showcase.
Best Western Kelly in St. Paul and the Best Western Kelly Inn of St. Cloud. Conveniently located at I-94 and Marion Street in St. Paul, just minutes from Concordia University. And at 104th Avenue South in St. Cloud, just minutes from St. Cloud State University. With newly refurbished guest rooms, restaurants and bars, indoor swimming pools, free high-speed internet and parking, exercise rooms, meeting and banquet rooms as well as catering. For reservations in St. Paul, call 651-227-8711. And in St. Cloud, 320-253-0606. Remember to ask about the NSIC team and administrator discounts.
I chose Division II because athletes graduate at a higher rate.
I can stay closer to home and be an important part of the community. I chose Division II because I can double major
and take part in campus activities.
I chose Division II because classrooms are smaller.
Students have more time with their instructors.
And I can compete for a national championship. I chose Division II for all these reasons and more.
I chose Division II.
We all train differently. It's about numbers. What works for you might not work for your teammates. The same thing goes for staying hydrated. As you compete, you sweat, and it leaves your body at a unique rate. At a certain point before the game's even over, you sweat so much that your performance suffers, unless your numbers are right. Through superior research, we've unlocked the formula to optimize those numbers. The math for you is simple.
The Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference is a proud member of NCAA Division II Athletics. This week's Northern Sun Showcase is brought to you by Wilson, the official football, basketball, and baseball of the NSIC. By LJK Companies Incorporated, a full-service solution to your team's lodging needs. By Impact Sports. Contact Impact Sports to get your swoosh on. And by eSultan's Web Services. We make having a website easy and affordable. For more information, visit esultans.com. Well, Butch, let's serve up some tennis and congratulate Augustana's women's tennis team.
Again, they not only won the regular season, but they won the tournament and went on, won the region and went on to the Sweet 16. A wonderful spring for those ladies.
Only falling to Concordia, New York in that Sweet 16 after a fine season. Well, we always talk about life in the balance, and for good reason. Division II athletics is made for not only competing at a high level in athletics, but also learning a lot as a person and developing as a member of the community. And we're seeing more and more examples of that throughout the Northern Sun Conference.
We do. We have a special event, a Student Athlete Advisory Committee Summit, a SAAC Summit, which is headlined by Melissa Seawick from our office. And this is the second annual. We hosted it at Winona State this year. Each of our 14 schools, we also included Sioux Falls and Minot this year. So each of our 16 schools could bring 3 student athletes for a weekend together. They roomed together. They played together. We had a keynote speaker brought in for them. There was a community engagement, just a weekend, and very, very successful of bringing people together in Life in the Balance.
We're just doing volunteer work, and we got in contact with the Winona Parks and Rec, and they said they want to build a park for snowboarding in here, and so they're actually going to take all this brush and some of the smaller trees here, they're going to make into little rails. They want a natural, snowboard park here. It's good to give back to the community that come out and support us, especially as athletes. We have the community comes out and supports us on a weekly basis. So to give back is, super important, actually.
And And Butch, another example, of course, it's been a very treacherous spring for a lot of people, not only in the upper Midwest, but also in that Memphis area. And Winona State football players were helping out, saving homes.
Yeah, thanks to 6 student athletes and 3 assistant football coaches from Winona that went down to Nashville to spend a week helping them dig out some of their problems or solve some of their problems. Again, a tremendous experience for a great group of young men.
I hope they learned a little bit too while getting a workout down there and really making a difference. Southwest Minnesota State, the winner of the Community Engagement Award, a big award, and it has some national prominence.
It's an award given by the NCAA, a conference award, and they had their annual, what they call their Egg Bowl, which is combined with a smokes fest. That's combined with Family Day, and they take 3,000, 4,000 people, 5,000 people on their campus and have a lot of fun. It's circled around soccer match, and a football game. As we mentioned at the beginning of the show, this is our final show of this sports season for the Northern Sun Conference. Butch, a couple of comments you want to share with after it's been a very eventful year. Well, it really has, and thanks to all our student athletes and coaches for what the competition they've given us. 2 national championships with the opportunity to win 4 more going into the spring. 2 Elite 8 award winners, Matt Braithwaite in cross country from Augustana, and Kendra Huettl from Minnesota State Mankato, the top student athlete award in those national championships, and a lot of individual champions too. We got too many to mention, but thanks to everybody, and thanks to you, Mike, for a fun year. And we cannot forget the All Sports Award and what that means, Butch. Explain it a little bit in our winner for this year. Well, this is an award we give out our annual Hall of Fame banquet this summer. It goes to the school that has gained the most points by where their teams have finished throughout the season. And this year, the award winner is Augustana College. It's a first-time award for them in the Northern Sun, and what a year they've had at Augustana. Congratulations, Vikings. And then we have just a minute to look ahead. We are adding 2 schools for next year. Everybody ready for a 16-member conference, Butch? Well, yeah, we'll see. The schedule yet, Mike, we won't be playing quite yet in terms of they'll be in the conference but not playing competition-wise yet. We'll be missing some non-conference games, but 2012 is when they'll officially start. A reminder, if you're looking for information 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, go to the website. It is northernsun.org. You get links to all the member schools, updates on all those national championships from the spring that are still underway. Nick Cornder and his staff doing a fantastic job showing you highlights and videos. A great way to keep up to date on everything happening throughout the conference in the Northern Sun. Well, Butch, I appreciate the chance to work with you again this year, and I wish all the student athletes and all those people that work so hard to make Division II Life in the Balance so good in the Northern Sun Conference. And along with our conference office, we've repeatedly said thank you, Nick, thank you, Melissa, thank you, Aaron, for all the work they do to make this the conference that it is. And thank you, most importantly, for supporting the conference, watching this show. And for the Commissioner, Butch Raymond, I'm Mike Woodley. Thanks so much for watching once again the Northern Sun Showcase.
The Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference. With 9 team national championships since 2006 and 24 individual national champions, the NSIC has developed into the premier Division II conference in the upper Midwest. The NSIC boasts 14 schools competing in 17 sports, all committed to one common goal: athletic and academic excellence. The Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference, a proud member of NCAA Division II athletics.